Introduction, redefining winning. When we hear the word winning, it's natural to think of big moments, getting that promotion, achieving a major life goal, or finally holding the trophy we have worked so hard for. But if we stop and think, life is not filled with trophies and grand moments every day. Real life is a journey, one that often does not come with cheering crowds or obvious finish lines. In truth, winning is so much more than these big, obvious achievements. It is about feeling fulfilled, hitting personal goals that really matter, and creating a life that makes you proud to wake up each day. Real life winning, it's different for everyone. Winning does not look the same for all of us. For one person, it might mean getting healthy, setting stronger boundaries, or building a solid career. For someone else, it might be about staying patient, showing up for family, or overcoming fears and self-doubt. Real winning is not just about being the best, it is about personal victories, those small moments that push you forward, even if no one else notices. We live in a world where winning can feel like a race, where we are pressured to keep up with others' achievements. But here's the truth, winning does not have to be about outshining anyone. It can be about becoming better for yourself, about setting goals that bring real happiness and meaning into your life, no matter what others are doing. Imagine getting to the end of a long day, feeling tired but fulfilled because you took steps towards something meaningful. That is winning, too. Progress, not perfection. Too often, we think winning means doing everything perfectly. But real life is messy, and no one wins by being perfect all the time. Winning is about moving forward, learning from mistakes, and having the resilience to keep going when things don't go as planned. Every time you pick yourself up after a setback, each time you try again, you're moving closer to your personal win. Let's be honest, life has ups and downs. Some days you'll feel on top of the world, and other days will be harder. Real winners know that growth. Introduction, redefining winning. When we hear the word winning, it is natural to think of big moments, getting that promotion, achieving a major life goal, or finally holding the trophy we've worked so hard for. But if we stop and think, life is not filled with trophies and grand moments every day. Real life is a journey, one that often does not come with cheering crowds or obvious finish lines. In truth, winning is so much more than these big, obvious achievements. It is about feeling fulfilled, hitting personal goals that really matter, and creating a life that makes you proud to wake up each day. Real life winning, it's different for everyone. Winning does not look the same for all of us. For one person, it might mean getting healthy, setting stronger boundaries, or building a solid career. For someone else, it might be about staying patient, showing up for family, or overcoming fears and self-doubt. Real winning is not just about being the best, it is about personal victories, those small moments that push you forward, even if no one else notices. We live in a world where winning can feel like a race, where we're pressured to keep up with others' achievements. But here's the truth, winning does not have to be about outshining anyone. It can be about becoming better for yourself, about setting goals that bring real happiness and meaning into your life, no matter what others are doing. Imagine getting to the end of a long day, feeling tired but fulfilled because you took steps towards something meaningful. That's winning, too. Progress, not perfection. Too often, we think winning means doing everything perfectly. But real life is messy, and no one wins by being perfect all the time. Winning is about moving forward, learning from mistakes, and having the resilience to keep going when things don't go as planned. Every time you pick yourself up after a setback, each time you try again, you're moving closer to your personal win. Let's be honest, life has ups and downs. Some days you'll feel on top of the world, and other days will be harder. Real winners know that growth is not always steady, it is a journey with moments of doubt, hard work, and small, quiet victories. It is about becoming the kind of person who can look back, not just at the accomplishments, but at the journey and the lessons, and feel proud. Why this book matters. This book is not here to tell you that you need to be the best at everything. Instead, it is here to help you redefine winning on your terms, to explore the mindsets, strategies, and habits that can make your journey easier and more fulfilling. You'll find ways to take challenges head-on, stay focused on what matters most, and build resilience along the way. If this journey toward real, lasting winning sounds like something you want to be part of, don't forget to subscribe and like to stay connected. Together, let's discover how to make winning a part of our everyday lives. Chapter 1: Building a Winning Mindset. To win at anything, you first have to believe that winning is possible. It all starts in the mind. The way we think shapes the way we live, and in many ways, it's our mindset that creates the foundation for every success we achieve. Building a winning mindset is about developing the right beliefs, thoughts, and attitudes that push us to take on challenges, grow, and keep going even when things get tough. The power of self-belief. Self-belief is the quiet, unshakable confidence that you are capable of more. It does not mean you'll succeed every time or that doubts won't creep in, it simply means that deep down, you know you can handle what life throws at you. This belief is powerful because it becomes a guiding force in everything you do. Without self-belief, we limit ourselves, holding back because we assume failure or don't feel good enough to try. Imagine if, every time you faced a challenge, you told yourself, "I am capable." Those simple words might seem small, but they can fuel you to keep going, to try again, and to see possibilities where others might see obstacles. This does not mean blindly believing that everything will go your way, but rather trusting that, whatever happens, you have the inner strength to handle it. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Buddha. This quote captures the heart of self-belief. By nurturing a positive and determined mindset, you become resilient and open to growth. You start seeing yourself not as someone limited by circumstances but as someone who can actively shape them. Positive thinking, the power to influence reality. Positive thinking is not about ignoring life's challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing a mindset that helps you see opportunities within struggles and believe in the potential of every situation. In a way, positive thinking can be seen as a form of resilience. It's the ability to maintain a hopeful outlook even when things don't go as planned. Research even suggests that positive thinkers tend to live longer and experience less stress. When we approach life with a positive mindset, we are more open to solutions, more energized to take on challenges, and more likely to bounce back from setbacks. Positive thinking is like fuel for the mind. It does not guarantee success, but it keeps you moving forward when others might stop. The growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Psychologist Carol Dweck introduced the concept of the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset, and understanding this difference is key to building a winning mentality. A fixed mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and talents are set in stone. People with this mindset often avoid challenges, fear failure, and believe that they can't change much about themselves. They see any setback as proof that they're not good enough, and they tend to give up easily because they think, "Why bother, this is just who I am." In contrast, a growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. People with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities to improve, and they don't see failure as a setback, but as part of the process. They ask questions like, what can I learn from this and how can I grow from here? This mindset is what drives winners to keep going, to experiment, and to learn, no matter how many times they stumble along the way. To build a winning mindset, it's essential to cultivate a growth mindset. By shifting from I can to I can learn, and from this is hard to this is a chance to grow, you open up a world of possibilities. Embrace challenges as chances to stretch yourself, to discover new strengths, and to grow beyond what you thought possible. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Ralph Waldo Emerson. This speaks to the essence of the growth mindset, that our potential is limitless as long as we're willing to believe in it and put in the work. Resilience, bouncing back from setbacks. Winning in life does not mean that you won't face failure or challenges. In fact, those setbacks are often the best teachers. Resilience is the ability to face difficulties, adapt, and bounce back stronger than before. It's knowing that a setback does not define you, it's simply a part of the journey. Resilience is not an inborn trait, it's something that we develop over time. It's the ability to weather life's storms without letting them crush your spirit. Philosophers have long taught that resilience is the true mark of strength. The Stoics, for example, believed that obstacles were not interruptions to success but the very path to success. Think of each setback as an opportunity to build a stronger foundation. Every time you overcome a struggle, you're building resilience, making it easier to face future challenges with courage and determination. Winning, in the end, is not just about the victories, it's about having the inner strength to keep going, learning from every experience, and not allowing failure to stop you. The obstacle in the path becomes the path. Never forget, within every obstacle is an opportunity to improve our condition. Marcus Aurelius. This quote from the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us that every setback has something to teach. Resilience is the art of learning, adapting, and using every obstacle as fuel for growth. Building a winning mindset is not about getting everything right the first time. It's about nurturing self-belief, choosing positive thoughts, embracing a growth mindset, and being resilient. When you have these mental tools, you're able to take on life's challenges with strength and optimism, knowing that each step, no matter how small, is a step toward winning. Winning starts from within. It is not about being perfect or reaching every goal overnight. It's about trusting the journey, believing in your capacity to grow, and knowing that even setbacks are part of the path. By building a winning mindset, you're setting yourself up to face life with purpose, determination, and the courage to keep going, no matter what. If you're ready to explore more about the art of winning, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights and tools that can help you shape a mindset built for success. Chapter 2, Mastering Self-Discipline. Self-discipline is often described as the bridge between goals and achievement, the core strength that allows you to focus on what matters most and avoid the distractions that hold you back. To build a truly fulfilling life, mastering self-discipline is essential. It's what allows us to follow through on our plans, make healthier choices, and steadily move toward our dreams, one small step at a time. Many people think self-discipline is about being tough or constantly sacrificing comfort, but it's much more than that. Self-discipline is about finding joy and fulfillment in consistent progress and seeing the value in daily effort. It's learning to do what you know is good for you, even when it's challenging. This chapter explores how to cultivate self-discipline in your life through daily habits, routines, and a few timeless philosophies that have guided people to success for centuries. Daily habits and routines that foster discipline. Creating a disciplined life starts with establishing habits that align with your goals and values. Habits are the building blocks of self-discipline, and they often become the autopilot that makes staying on track easier. When we build habits, we take the conscious decision-making out of the equation, allowing ourselves to follow routines that naturally lead to success. Start with small, realistic goals and build from there. For example, if you want to improve your health, start with a 10-minute daily exercise routine or simply drink more water. If your goal is to read more, commit to 10 minutes a day before bed. The idea is to create a foundation of small, manageable habits that will grow over time. Creating a morning routine. A strong morning routine can set a productive tone for the entire day. Many successful people swear by morning rituals that help them mentally and physically prepare for the day ahead. This routine doesn't need to be complicated. It could be as simple as a few minutes of meditation, writing down your goals, or engaging in some light exercise. For example, the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius would remind himself each morning of the values he wanted to uphold, setting his intentions for the day. By starting each morning with a sense of purpose, we can cultivate a disciplined mind that is prepared to tackle the day's challenges. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. This quote reflects the mindset of appreciation and purpose that a morning routine can foster. When we approach each day with intention, we're already one step closer to mastering self-discipline. Practical strategies to improve focus and avoid procrastination. Self-discipline requires focus, and in a world filled with distractions, maintaining focus can feel like a never-ending challenge. However, there are effective strategies to improve concentration and manage our time wisely. Set clear priorities. When we're clear on our priorities, distractions lose their power. Each morning or the night before, decide on the 2 to 3 key tasks that matter most, and focus on those first. Avoid jumping from task to task, which can dilute your focus. Use the Pomodoro technique. This popular time management method involves working for 25 minutes, followed by a 5-minute break. After 4 cycles, take a longer break. This technique can help prevent burnout and improve focus by breaking work into manageable chunks. Limit digital distractions. Digital devices are often the biggest obstacles to focus. Turn off notifications on your phone or put it on Do Not Disturb while working. Apps like Forest or Freedom can help block distracting websites and keep you on track. Practice mindfulness. Being mindful of your thoughts and actions helps you avoid the autopilot habits that lead to procrastination. Take a moment to notice when you're tempted to put things off and ask yourself, what's the real reason I'm delaying this task? Often, simply becoming aware of your patterns can help you break them. Philosophically, the ancient Stoics believed that procrastination came from a lack of alignment with one's values and purpose. When we deeply understand why we're doing something, we're less likely to avoid it. As Seneca put it, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. One of the hallmarks of self-discipline is the inability to wait long-term benefits. In a world that constantly encourages immediate satisfaction, learning to wait can be challenging, but it's a powerful skill that allows us to achieve deeper, lasting fulfillment. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't expect to see it fully grown in a week or even a year. You water it, give it sunlight, and trust that over time it will grow. Delaying gratification is the same way. It's an investment in the future that requires patience and trust in the process. In the 1970s, psychologist Walter Mischel conducted the famous marshmallow experiment, where children were given the option to eat 1 marshmallow immediately or wait 15 minutes to receive 2 marshmallows. The study showed that children who could wait for the reward tended to have better life outcomes, illustrating the power of self-control and delayed gratification. Philosophers like Aristotle argued that true happiness comes from virtuous actions and self-mastery. Aristotle believed that our ability to resist impulses and make choices aligned with our higher goals is what separates us from animals driven solely by instinct. The more self-control a person has, the more they are capable of accomplishing what they truly desire. This idea emphasizes the point that discipline is not about restriction but about setting yourself free from fleeting desires so you can pursue the goals that matter most. Self-compassion and discipline, a balanced approach. While self-discipline is critical, it's equally important to approach it with kindness and patience. Discipline doesn't mean punishing yourself for every slip-up or feeling guilty about taking breaks. In fact, self-compassion is a vital part of long-term discipline. When we're kind to ourselves, we're more likely to stick with our goals because we're not weighed down by negative emotions. For example, if you miss a day at the gym or procrastinate on a task, don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge it, and remind yourself that self-discipline is about the journey, not perfection. True discipline involves flexibility and understanding, allowing you to bounce back from setbacks instead of giving up entirely. Mastering self-discipline is about building daily habits, setting clear priorities, learning to delay gratification, and practicing self-compassion. It's not something we achieve overnight, it's a process of small, consistent efforts that build a powerful foundation over time. Think of self-discipline as a tree you're nurturing every day. Some days you'll water it more, and other days it might need a little extra sunlight, but every day you're giving it the care it needs to grow strong and steady. Self-discipline is about creating that inner strength to follow through on your dreams and goals, no matter what. Chapter 3, The Power of Adaptability. Adaptability is one of the greatest strengths you can develop in your life. It's about the ability to adjust to new circumstances, change your course when necessary, and thrive no matter what life throws your way. Whether you're faced with a shift in your personal life, a change at work, or an unexpected challenge, adaptability is the key to not just surviving, but thriving. It's the art of staying flexible, of bending without breaking, and of finding new paths forward when the old ones no longer work. Life is in constant motion. Change is inevitable, whether we like it or not. The world around us shifts, people change, and the challenges we face evolve over time. So, the question is, how do we navigate all this change? How do we adapt without losing ourselves in the process? How do we become stronger, wiser, and more resilient in the face of life's unpredictable nature? This chapter will explore how you can embrace change, sharpen your problem-solving abilities, and learn to think on your feet when life throws you a curveball. We'll also dive into some profound examples of individuals who mastered the art of adaptability to achieve extraordinary success. But most importantly, we'll show you how to cultivate the adaptability within yourself, so you can face any challenge with confidence. Adapting to change and staying flexible. Change is something we can't escape. It could be something as big as a career change or as small as a new routine that disrupts your daily flow. No matter the size or scope, change often brings discomfort, and that discomfort can cause us to feel stuck, resistant, or anxious. But here's the truth, resisting change only makes it harder. The more we fight against change, the more we struggle. Adapting to change, on the other hand, is where the power lies. It's about adjusting our mindset, shifting our perspective, and opening ourselves to the possibilities that come with change. It's not about passively accepting everything that comes our way, but about actively looking for the opportunities within the changes. Take a moment and think about a time in your life when something unexpected happened. Maybe it was a job loss, a breakup, or a sudden shift in your circumstances. How did you react? Did you fight the change, or did you try to understand it, learn from it, and adapt to it? One powerful way to stay adaptable is by embracing a mindset of curiosity. Instead of fearing change or clinging to what you know, approach new situations with an open mind. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this, or how can this make me better? Change becomes less intimidating when we shift our focus from loss to growth. Think of change as a river. It's constantly flowing, never the same, and always moving forward. You can either fight the current, exhausting yourself, or you can flow with it, finding new paths, opportunities, and perspectives. Problem-solving skills and thinking on your feet. Adaptability is closely tied to problem-solving. When we're faced with a challenge, we have two choices. We can either let the problem stop us, or we can find a way to solve it. The adaptable person chooses the latter. They see problems not as obstacles, but as opportunities to learn, grow, and innovate. The ability to think on your feet is a crucial aspect of adaptability. Life doesn't give us a manual or a set of instructions for every challenge we face. Often, we're left to figure things out as we go. That's where problem solving comes in. The more you practice thinking quickly and staying calm in the face of uncertainty, the better you'll be at adapting to whatever comes your way. Here's a helpful strategy. Whenever you face a problem, instead of reacting with frustration or panic, take a deep breath. Ground yourself in the present moment. Then, look for options. Ask yourself, what's the next step I can take? Even the smallest action can create momentum. By breaking down the problem into manageable steps, you'll be able to take quick, thoughtful action. Philosophers like Socrates and the Stoics taught us that challenges are a part of life. The real wisdom comes from how we respond to them. In fact, Socrates once said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." This acknowledgement allows us to be open to learning and adapting. It's the humility to know we don't have all the answers, but the curiosity to seek out new solutions. When you approach problems with a mindset of learning, you're not just solving the issue at hand, you're building a skill that will help you adapt in every area of your life. Adapting to life's unpredictable nature. Adaptability is something we can all develop, but it requires practice and mindfulness. Every day, we are faced with situations that require us to adapt, whether it's a change in our routine, an unexpected challenge at work, or a personal setback. The more we practice being adaptable, the more natural it becomes. Take a moment to reflect on a recent change in your life. Maybe it's something small like a new schedule or a change in how you interact with others, or something big, like a shift in your career or relationships. How did you respond? Did you resist the change, or did you embrace it? Adaptability isn't about always being okay with change. It's about recognizing that change is a part of life, and that by adjusting our mindset and actions, we can turn those changes into opportunities. It's about being flexible enough to not be broken by life's unpredictability, and strong enough to grow through it. Philosophical wisdom on adaptability. The Stoics, a group of ancient philosophers, believed that the only thing we truly control in life is our response to events. We can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This philosophy is at the core of adaptability. When we stop trying to control everything and start focusing on how we respond, we open ourselves to growth. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacles we face can be the very things that lead us to new opportunities, new growth, and new success. The key is in how we adapt to them. By shifting our mindset to embrace change and adapt quickly, we not only increase our chances of success, but we also become more resilient in the face of life's challenges. Adapting to life's unpredictability isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving in ways we never imagined possible. As you move forward, think about how you can embrace adaptability in your own life. The next time you face a challenge, try to approach it with curiosity, calmness, and an open mind. See what opportunities lie within the change. The more adaptable you become, the more you'll find yourself not just winning, but growing personally, professionally, and emotionally. Chapter 4: Emotional Intelligence and Winning Relationships. Success in life is not just about winning in the traditional sense, it's about winning in the way that matters most, through strong, meaningful relationships. Emotional intelligence (EQ) is at the heart of these relationships. It's not about being perfect or always knowing the right thing to say. It's about understanding yourself and others, handling emotions in healthy ways, and connecting with people in a way that feels real and supportive. In this chapter, we'll explore how emotional intelligence can shape your relationships and help you win in life. Understanding your emotions. Before you can connect with others, you first need to understand yourself. Have you ever had an emotional outburst only to later wonder, why did I react that way? Our emotions can catch us off guard sometimes, and it's easy to let them control us. But when you understand your emotions, you can make more thoughtful choices about how to act. Self-awareness is the first step. This means taking a moment to check in with yourself, asking, what am I feeling right now, and why? It's easy to push down or ignore difficult emotions like anger, sadness, or anxiety, but these feelings are often signals, telling you something important. Perhaps you're feeling frustrated because you're overwhelmed at work, or you're anxious because you're about to have an important conversation. Recognizing these emotions and giving yourself permission to feel them helps you respond more calmly and wisely. When you truly understand your own emotions, you're in a better position to understand others. That doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out. Emotional awareness is a practice, not a one-time achievement. But the more you practice, the more you learn how to regulate your emotions, which leads to healthier, stronger connections with others. Understanding others' emotions. Once you start to understand yourself, the next step is understanding others. This is where empathy comes in, being able to feel what someone else is feeling, and not just seeing things from your own perspective. It's about looking beyond the surface and recognizing the deeper emotions others are experiencing. Think about a time when someone shared something difficult with you. Maybe a friend was going through a breakup or struggling with a job loss. How did you respond? Did you listen with empathy, offering support and understanding, or did you try to fix the problem right away? It's easy to jump in with solutions, but sometimes, the best thing you can offer is your presence and your ability to truly listen. When you approach others with empathy, you send a powerful message: I see you. I hear you. And I care about what you're going through. This creates an emotional bond and builds trust, two key ingredients for strong relationships. People are much more likely to open up and connect with someone who genuinely listens and understands their emotions. The role of communication and networking. Once you've built a foundation of emotional awareness and empathy, the next piece of the puzzle is communication. Good communication isn't just about talking, it's about creating a space where both people feel heard and valued. It's about being clear, open, and honest while also being sensitive to the feelings of others. Effective communication also means being aware of nonverbal cues, like body language and tone of voice. Have you ever had a conversation where the words didn't match the tone or the body language? Maybe someone says I'm fine but their crossed arms and clenched jaw say otherwise. This mismatch can create confusion or even conflict. True communication is about listening just as much as speaking. It's about being present in the moment and fully engaging in the conversation. The more you practice active listening, where you focus entirely on the person speaking and show that you're paying attention, the more meaningful your interactions will be. People can feel when you are truly interested in them, and that builds trust, which is the foundation of any strong relationship. Networking is often thought of in a professional sense, but it's just as important in personal relationships. Networking is about creating connections with others, not just for your own gain but to build a web of support and understanding. This doesn't mean handing out business cards or making superficial small talk. True networking is about building authentic relationships that enrich your life and help you grow. Conflict resolution and building strong relationships. Disagreements are a part of any relationship. Whether with a friend, a partner, or a co-worker, it's natural to have conflicts from time to time. But conflict doesn't have to tear a relationship apart. In fact, when handled with emotional intelligence, conflict can strengthen a relationship. The key to handling conflict is emotional regulation. This means staying calm and composed even when emotions are running high. When you're in a heated discussion, it's easy to say something in the heat of the moment that you might later regret. But if you can pause, take a deep breath, and regulate your emotions, you can communicate more thoughtfully and effectively. The goal isn't to win the argument, it's to find a solution that works for both people involved. Instead of focusing on who's right or wrong, try asking, what do we both need to feel heard and understood here? Sometimes, just acknowledging the other person's perspective can diffuse tension and open the door to resolution. Conflict doesn't have to be scary or damaging. It can be an opportunity to learn, grow, and strengthen your connection. Building strong, supportive relationships. Building strong, supportive relationships is a continuous process. It's about consistently showing up, being there for others, and being open to receiving support in return. True relationships are built on trust, and trust is built on consistent actions. The more you show up for others in meaningful ways, the more they'll show up for you. There's also a certain vulnerability involved in building strong relationships. It means being willing to open yourself up to others, letting them see the real you. Vulnerability doesn't mean being weak, it means being authentic and letting others connect with you on a deeper level. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you give others permission to do the same. This creates a sense of safety and mutual respect that strengthens your bond. Philosophical thoughts on emotional intelligence. Philosophically, emotional intelligence is rooted in the idea of self-mastery. Ancient thinkers like Aristotle believed that wisdom and virtue come from understanding and mastering oneself. Emotional intelligence is an important part of this process. It's about understanding your own emotions, as well as the emotions of others, and using that awareness to guide your actions in ways that contribute to positive, meaningful connections. The Stoics, another group of ancient philosophers, taught that we can't control the external world, but we can control how we respond to it. Emotional intelligence aligns with this idea. It gives us the tools to regulate our emotions and make conscious choices, even when life gets chaotic or challenging. Rather than being tossed around by our emotions, we learn to navigate them with awareness and purpose. In the Buddhist tradition, there's a focus on mindfulness, being present and aware of our thoughts, feelings, and actions without judgment. Emotional intelligence is a form of mindfulness. It encourages us to be aware of our emotional states, to notice when we're triggered, and to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Chapter 6, Overcoming Doubts and Fears. In the pursuit of winning, one of the biggest obstacles you'll face isn't the competition, nor the challenges you encounter. It's the doubts and fears that rise up from within. These silent enemies often whisper that you're not good enough, that your dreams are too big, or that you'll fail before you even start. Overcoming these doubts is a key part of building a winning mindset. But here's the truth: doubts and fears are not something to be afraid of. They are, in fact, part of the process. The challenge lies not in avoiding them but in learning how to manage and use them as stepping stones toward success. This chapter will explore how you can recognize and handle self-doubt, build confidence, take risks, and develop a mindset that embraces failure as part of the journey. Recognizing and managing self-doubt. Self-doubt is natural. Every successful person, no matter how confident they seem, has faced it. It's that feeling that creeps in when you question whether you're good enough or capable of achieving your goals. The first step in overcoming self-doubt is simply recognizing it. Awareness is the key. When you acknowledge your doubts, you can challenge them instead of letting them control you. One of the most effective ways to deal with self-doubt is through self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when these thoughts arise. Don't view them as failures, see them as opportunities for growth. Recognize that no one is perfect, and setbacks are just part of the process. Self-doubt often comes from a place of fear of the unknown or fear of failure, but remember that growth happens only when we step out of our comfort zones. To manage self-doubt, shift your focus from what might go wrong to what could go right. Reframe the situation in a way that empowers you. For instance, instead of thinking, "I don't know if I can do this," try, "I've faced challenges before, and I've learned from them. I can do this." This shift in perspective can build the mental strength needed to push past doubt and take action. Techniques to build confidence and take calculated risks. Building confidence is a process that takes time, but it begins with taking small steps. Confidence is not about never feeling afraid, it's about moving forward despite fear. To build this type of confidence, start by setting small, achievable goals. Each time you accomplish one, no matter how small, you reinforce the belief in your abilities. These little victories add up and create a foundation of self-assurance. Another way to build confidence is by preparing thoroughly. Knowledge and preparation are powerful antidotes to fear. The more you know and practice, the less you'll doubt yourself. This could mean rehearsing for an important presentation, learning new skills, or simply taking the time to understand a situation before diving in. Taking calculated risks is an essential part of winning. Risk is often seen as something to avoid, but calculated risk-taking is the secret to growth. When you're uncertain, evaluate the situation logically. Weigh the potential rewards against the possible consequences. If the potential benefit outweighs the risk, take the leap. Remember, not every risk needs to be a giant leap. Sometimes, taking smaller, manageable risks can lead to big rewards over time. It's also important to understand that not every decision will be perfect. You'll make mistakes along the way, and that's okay. The key is to learn from those mistakes and use them as fuel to keep going. Developing a mindset to embrace and learn from failure. One of the most powerful ways to overcome doubts and fears is by changing how you view failure. Many people fear failure because they believe it reflects their worth or abilities. But the truth is, failure is not a reflection of who you are, it's an opportunity to learn and grow. Embracing failure as a natural part of the process is essential to long-term success. The famous philosopher Socrates once said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." This statement highlights a crucial truth: failure is simply a stepping stone on the path to wisdom. Every failure teaches us something valuable, whether it's about the situation, our approach, or even ourselves. When we stop seeing failure as an endpoint and start seeing it as part of the learning process, we free ourselves from the grip of fear. Another way to embrace failure is by developing resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going when things don't go as planned. It's about developing the mental strength to weather the storm. You build resilience by viewing challenges as opportunities to learn rather than obstacles to success. When you encounter a setback, instead of feeling defeated, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What could I do differently next time? This mindset turns failure into a valuable teacher. A Zen master's story, The Art of Letting Go. In the Zen tradition, there is a well-known story about a young monk who came to his teacher, a wise Zen master, feeling overwhelmed with self-doubt. He told the master, "Master, I am not good enough. I fear I will never reach enlightenment. Every time I try, I fail." The Zen master smiled and replied, "Let me tell you a story." He then began recounting the tale of a great warrior who had once lost a battle and was mocked by his peers. The warrior returned to his training with renewed determination, never allowing his failure to define him. He learned, practiced, and adapted, and in time, he became a legendary hero. The Zen master looked at the young monk and said, "You see, the warrior did not fear failure. He learned from it, let it go, and continued on his path." Failure is not something to fear, it is something to learn from. Every time you fall, you rise again. And with each rise, you get stronger. The monk took the master's words to heart, realizing that his self-doubt was simply a part of his journey. He didn't have to be perfect to move forward. He only needed to keep going, learning, and growing. Philosophically, overcoming doubt and fear is about embracing uncertainty as part of the human experience. The ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus taught that we cannot control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. In many ways, self-doubt and fear are external events. They're thoughts and feelings that arise within us. But how we respond to them is entirely within our control. Similarly, the Stoics believed that the key to resilience was not to avoid difficulty but to accept it as part of life. By acknowledging that fear and doubt will always be present, but not allowing them to dictate our actions, we free ourselves to pursue our goals with confidence. Fear, they taught, is not a signal to stop, it's a signal to move forward, to challenge ourselves, and to grow. In the Buddhist tradition, the concept of impermanence teaches that all feelings, including fear and doubt, are temporary. Just as everything in life changes, so too will your doubts and fears. When you acknowledge their temporary nature, they lose their power over you. You learn to accept them, let them pass, and keep moving forward. Overcoming doubts and fears is not about eliminating fear altogether but learning to live with it and move through it. By recognizing and managing self-doubt, building confidence, taking calculated risks, and embracing failure, you transform fear from an obstacle into a stepping stone toward success. Like the Zen monk, learn to let go of the need for perfection, and embrace the process of learning, growing, and becoming. The fears you face today will be the strengths that carry you toward your tomorrow. Keep moving forward, and remember, you are capable, you are strong, and you are ready for the challenge. Chapter 7, Continuous Learning and Growth. In the journey of winning, there is one principle that stands above all others, the need for continuous learning and growth. It's the habit of constantly refining yourself, learning from each experience, and being open to new ideas and perspectives. The most successful people in the world aren't those who know everything, but those who never stop learning. Whether it's acquiring new skills, deepening your understanding, or improving your mindset, growth is a lifelong pursuit that keeps you sharp, adaptable, and always moving forward. But what does continuous learning really mean? It's not just about reading books or attending seminars, It's about integrating the mindset of a student into every aspect of your life. When you adopt this mindset, every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth, and every failure a lesson in disguise. This chapter will explore how to cultivate a lifelong learning habit, find inspiration from various sources, and use self-reflection to refine and develop yourself constantly. Cultivating a lifelong learning habit. To be truly successful, you must adopt a mindset of continuous learning. It's about recognizing that there is always room for improvement, no matter how much you've achieved. Growth doesn't stop once you've hit a certain milestone, it's a constant process. But how do you make learning a habit? The first step is to embrace curiosity. Curiosity is the spark that drives learning. When you are genuinely curious about something, you naturally seek out knowledge and strive to understand it better. Instead of approaching problems with a fixed mindset, ask yourself, what can I learn from this and how can this experience make me better? When you see every day as a chance to learn something new, you naturally start developing a habit of growth. In the modern world, we have endless resources available at our fingertips. Whether it's books, podcasts, online courses, or even social media, there are numerous ways to gain knowledge and insights. The key is to stay disciplined about how you engage with these resources. Set aside time each day to read, listen, or reflect. Just like any other habit, learning requires consistency. Make it a part of your daily routine, whether it's reading for 15 minutes in the morning or listening to an inspiring podcast during your commute. Remember, learning is not always about formal education. Some of the greatest lessons come from real-life experiences, trial and error, and the wisdom gained through reflection. Cultivate an openness to learning in every situation. Every conversation, every challenge, and every experience can teach you something valuable if you're willing to see it that way. Finding inspiration from mentors, books, and experiences. One of the most powerful ways to fuel your continuous learning journey is to seek inspiration from those who have walked the path before you. Mentors, books, and real-life experiences can all provide invaluable lessons that help guide you along the way. Mentorship is one of the most effective ways to grow. A mentor can provide guidance, advice, and feedback that will save you from making common mistakes and help you avoid pitfalls that could delay your progress. Look for mentors who inspire you, whether in your professional field or in personal development. Their wisdom can accelerate your growth by showing you different perspectives, offering solutions, and challenging you to think in new ways. Books are another essential source of knowledge and inspiration. They contain the distilled wisdom of the ages, ideas, philosophies, strategies, and stories that can shift your perspective and broaden your understanding. Whether it's a biography of someone you admire, a philosophy book that challenges your way of thinking, or a self-help book that offers practical advice, reading regularly is one of the best ways to fuel your learning journey. In addition to mentors and books, real-life experiences are powerful teachers. Sometimes, the greatest lessons come from the situations you face every day. Every victory, setback, and even failure provides a unique opportunity to learn and grow. Instead of viewing challenges as obstacles, look at them as lessons in disguise. Life will always present you with lessons, but it's up to you to recognize them and extract the wisdom they contain. The role of self-reflection and refinement. Learning doesn't stop with acquiring new knowledge, it's also about reflection. Self-reflection is the process of looking inward and assessing your actions, behaviors, and thoughts. It allows you to see where you're succeeding and where you can improve. Without reflection, you might miss the chance to learn from your experiences. Take time regularly to reflect on your progress. Ask yourself, what worked well today, what didn't, what can I do better tomorrow? It's through this reflective process that you refine your strategies, behaviors, and mindset. Reflection isn't just about recognizing mistakes, it's also about acknowledging successes, no matter how small. It's a way to track your growth, identify patterns in your behavior, and course correct when needed. To refine yourself constantly, be open to feedback, both from others and from yourself. When you're in the habit of reflecting on your actions, you become more aware of areas where you can grow. Perhaps you realize you've been too quick to judge others, or maybe you notice a recurring pattern of procrastination. When you become aware of these habits, you can work to change them. Additionally, be patient with yourself. Growth doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires time, effort, and consistency. The key is to keep refining your approach, to keep adjusting and learning. In time, you'll begin to see significant changes in your mindset, behavior, and results. An old monk's lesson of a cup of water. There's an old story from Buddhist teachings that perfectly captures the essence of lifelong learning. A young man once sought out an old monk, hoping to find wisdom. He asked, "Master, what is the key to enlightenment?" The old monk smiled and said, "Come, I will show you." He took the young man to a river and began to fill a cup with water from the stream. After a few moments, the monk held out the cup to the young man and said, "This is your mind." The young man looked at the cup, and it was filled to the brim, yet the monk continued pouring water. "What do you see?" the monk asked. The young man, surprised, answered, "The cup is already full, Master. There is no more room." The monk nodded and said, "Your mind is like this cup. You come to me thinking you already know everything, but your mind is full. Only when you empty your mind of what you think you know, can you truly learn. You must approach life with an open mind, ready to learn and grow." The young man left with a deep sense of understanding, realizing that learning is not just about gaining knowledge but also about letting go of preconceptions and being open to new ideas. True learning, the monk taught him, is about humility, openness, and the willingness to grow continuously. Philosophical thoughts on continuous learning. In many philosophical traditions, the pursuit of knowledge is seen as a sacred duty. Socrates believed that the unexamined life is not worth living. To him, self-reflection and continual learning were essential for a meaningful life. Learning was not just about accumulating facts, it was about understanding oneself and the world around you in a deeper way. Similarly, the Stoics, including Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the importance of constant self-improvement. They believed that learning was a way to develop virtue and wisdom, and that one should never cease in their quest for personal growth. According to the Stoics, every moment offers an opportunity to learn, and true wisdom comes from being willing to accept that we are always students of life. In Buddhism, the concept of samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, teaches that life is a constant process of transformation. Continuous learning is at the heart of this process, as each experience is seen as an opportunity for growth and enlightenment. The Buddhist path encourages an open heart and mind, continuously learning from every experience, whether good or bad.